afternoon, my lovers. Right, my best finds. Look at this medieval floor tile. This dates to 1250. I got 39 bits of this. Right, here, I'll do a close-up later of the stuff. Here is a hammered coin. Elizabeth the First, 1592. He's got here an annular buckle. Lovely little buckle. These have all been recorded on the finds database. This one hasn't. I've got to take this one to the museum. This is my cannonball. We're thinking English Civil War. This is a bit of flint scraper. 8000 BC. It's dead easy to find flint. If you live in an area where there isn't any flints and you find a bit of flint when you're digging a hole, then it's more likely to be from that time scale. You know, all you've got to do is look around the edge. If it's been like nibbled, like if someone's nibbled it, then it will probably be either a broken sherd, or it doesn't have to look like an arrowhead. That's what I'm saying. Right. Oh, here's my lovely. This is my best coin. This is the one that's on my YouTube icon. Here it is. This is me hammered groat. Lovely coin. Right. 1422, that one. This is a French jeton. I always find it unusual that these things, you know, this is like 1385 copper, and yet modern day coppers rust away to nothing, and yet this is in pretty good condition. Right, another bit of flint there. This one would have been like, see, the point would have been used for drilling holes in maybe skin for maybe a belt, so they could put, well, I don't know if they had pins or anything, but they could have drilled a hole with it. Right, this is my most oldest coin. Hammered. Get it out of the bag. This is a Henry III penny. Yeah, 1244. Right, and that's it for my best finds so far this year. Well, sort of, my season begins in November and goes through to sort of January, February, where I metal detect all winter, non-stop, because I'm a gardener. I don't work in the winter, I work in the summer months. So on the summer months I only do it on weekends. Right, let's do some close-ups. Right, this is me groat. Can never tell which way these things are supposed to go up on the back, but he's a nice one. Oh, 1592, Elizabeth the First. There she is. I always wonder why they make her look so ugly. You know, if someone made me look that ugly, I'd have their heads off. Right, This is my 1385 French Jetton. Now I did clean this with my microscope a bit, so that's why it probably looks a lot better than it did before I cleaned it. But you know, 1385. Right, I didn't show this one a minute ago, but this is a very valuable coin. It would have been extremely valuable if it had on the back, or the reverse as they say, has got a 3. Now if that had a Aborigine on the back instead of the 3, it would have been worth 44,000 Australian dollars for that tiny little coin. But as it is, it's only worth $500. Shame, real shame. I sent a picture of this to an auction house in Sydney, Australia, because it says Sydney on the bottom, and it was dropped in 1860. I'm thinking that possibly you always find these tiny little coins, don't you, like half pennies. This fell out of his pocket and he didn't even know it was gone. I bet he was gutted. Anyway, probably, well, it wasn't worth much back then, I suppose. But what the thinking is that in 1850 there was a big gold rush, and lots of British people went to Australia to seek their fortunes, and in 1860 it was sort of, a lot of them came back. So we're thinking that this is possibly a coin that someone come back from the gold rush and had in his pocket and just dropped it. Gone forever. Well, not ever, I found it again. So that's an Australian coin, Victorian. Amazing what you find. Right, this is my Henry III penny, 1422 to 1447. I haven't cleaned this one because it's so old. Just didn't damage it. Didn't want to damage it. You know, it's a little hand there holding the scepter. Yeah, man at the museum ID'd it for me. Just sent him a picture on the email and he came back and said, yep, that's what it is. This is me buckle or brooch. It's a bit, I've not really decided how the what it is or what it ain't, but it's a nice one, real nice, clean. You can got a little bit of design on the pin. Right, this is me bit of flint I showed you in the bag a minute ago. Yeah, it's a piece of chert, which is a type of flint, I'm guessing. But I've seen this design before. I knew what it was as soon as I dug it up. Yeah, 8,000 BC, 10,000 years old. That's amazing. So like I said, if you're in a field and you see a bit of flint in the field, pick it up. You know, it might not be anything, but it's worth picking it up and taking it home and just looking under a microscope or something to see how it's nibbled there, nibbled around the edge. Another thing you get on the flint, if it's been worked by hand, it'll have a bulb, like a bulb of percussion, like a funny little bulby lump, smooth like. Well, all flint's pretty smooth, but that's what that will be. So it's worth picking it up, just taking it to your finds liaison officer, and he'll tell you whether it's anything or not. But if it's in a field where there isn't any natural flint in the field, that's what it'll be. There we go. Look, this is a scraper. See that? There's the bulb of percussion on this one. It's like a lump. You can only get that if it's been hand worked. See the nibbling around the edge? Right, and this is me cannonball. There are some little ridges and bits on there, but this one is not being identified as a genuine cannonball at the moment. But I showed some pictures of it to the finds liaison officer, and he said that he's certain, pretty much certain, that within the environment that I found it in, that he's pretty much certain that it could be a genuine cannonball. Right, And these are my bits of medieval floor tile. I was digging a hole for a target, and that was in the ground looking like that. I turned it over and went, wow. 1250. 1250. That is amazing. Yeah, the church. A lot of churches were renovated in Victorian times. So if you search for fields near churches, you can find things like this. So if this could have come from a church or a manor house. I'm thinking it's possibly the church because we know the history of the church. So, yeah, I was amazed. I want to find a whole one soon. Metal detectors can detect these tiles. It comes up as high mineralisation. So if you're going across the ground and the mineralisation suddenly goes off the scale for no apparent reason, it's because of the high temperatures that this was fired to. And there might be some metal in the glaze work. So you can detect them. But where I was, the ground was very dry and I haven't been up to get back up there and do it. The ground needs to be a bit wetter. I think it would work better if it was wetter. So, yeah. Right. Oh, so that was my best finds. There's only a few. But where I was detecting before was just, you know, gardens and people's houses, digging up their gardens, and a field near a pub, and it was just sort of various places. And I decided that I wanted to do this village, and I got in with the locals, and I did earlier this, just a month or so ago, I did a nice village day, met all the villagers, and got some nice permissions from that, which is one of the permissions I've got recently. So you've got to put the work in. Right, cheers!